Okay, sounds
If we
good.
have time, if we have time, we can definitely do it because it may be educational for folks.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know. I'm willing to share if you're all right. So we'll wait on it though.
Sweet. See how well, we might have some time. It'd be kind of interesting. People would
I feel like
some
everyone would love to hear what you're talking about since you guys keep talking about not talking about it. Just saying.
we want to just talk about how we don't want to tell Layla about it. So we should specifically it's because Layla's on the line, but if you're gonna ask, then it's like, Josh Keating.
Well, I was gonna share just to update you, Kikwall, but on this property, but I think we got quite a few people coming in, so maybe we just get started.
Yeah. Happy Friday.
Happy little Friday, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a great week, productive. What's up, Zasha? Okay.
Zasha. Hi, Zasha. Zasha, you got some nice posts lately. I've been following.
Which ones? Which ones?
I think yesterday I was kind of catching up on some stuff. So whatever you had up yesterday, I was like, hey, that's pretty solid.
Oh yeah, I
You
just did
got
a webinar too yesterday. And I like scheduled it like on Tuesday. And like
oh,
over
nice.
100 people came, 300 people registered. So I guess I need to do more of plan ahead and do some more webinars about transitioning from single family to multifamily. I think people are curious about that, and a lot of people are jumping into the multifamily space right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I saw. I think the one that I caught my eye was which one was it? It was the Bigger Pockets one where you were kind of telling just about your goals and stuff.
Oh yeah. So I keep telling
That's
people, I
probably
mean, especially because it's already the end of January. So I was actually on a call with Diedrich the other day. We did kind of like a giveaway thing. He won a free call.
Thank you, Zasha.
And we kind of went over, goals and action steps and, breaking things down because we're all excited in the beginning of the year, right? But it's about just being consistent and having some actionable steps that you can take. And he's been really good at networking and reaching out to people. And so kind of just went over that because people, they get burnt out by the end of January and then lose momentum. So that's been kind of what my focus has been, and just telling people, put it out there, right? Like keep telling people. I told everybody, I'm still buying. I got the best, like two of the best deals that I got was December 15th or something. I had 2 weeks to close on the deals, but those are the best deals I got all year. So I just kept, putting it out there. And even now I'm with my content, I'm like, I want to buy a beach house on Maui that is, using creative finance. I want to be one of the only locals like on the beach there with, all these $1 million mansions. And I have big goals. So just keep putting it out there to people, telling them, and, hopefully the right person, when something comes up, they'll think of you.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, that's ultimate accountability because people end up just following up and they're like, hey, how's that one thing going? And you're like, oh, I forgot about it. What thing? So,
Right.
yeah, that's awesome. So, do you do all of your own social media then? You film it all yourself?
I film it, yeah, myself. And then I do have a couple people that help me as far as editing, posting, because to like, I don't know how like in depth you want to get with it, but I did a social media thing for you guys, a presentation. I don't know if you're here.
I was there.
Oh yeah. So that's basically my journey of how I grew, was just sharing every day, and then, finding ways to add value like you guys do at this call weekly.
Yeah, no, you're doing a great job. And it adds some cool value, especially these days when people are asking lots of questions. Like you seem to answer their questions. So it's good
Right.
stuff.
And just letting them know, like, you don't have to be like the smartest person or the person with the most money or whatever the case may be. It's just seeing what your skill set is, and using that to your advantage to add value to others.
Yeah, 100%. That's awesome. It's good stuff. I love it. What do you have as a need right now? What's your top need?
Top need, well, we're starting a fund. And so I know I was talking to Corey before about that. I'm starting a fund with two other really experienced investors as far as commercial real estate. So we're just trying to figure out the nuances. We have calls with the attorneys coming up and things like that. I really want to get that off the ground ASAP.
That's
Who'd you end
good.
up
I like
using? Oh, Zasha.
What?
Who did you end up using for the attorney?
Well, we have several. So it's Emma Paula's group, the one that I joined. I invested in 4 multifamily deals with her. So they have different attorneys that we've used. But this week coming up is we're gonna have like kind of interviews with them. But they're not from here.
Gotcha. Kiko, who were we talking to? Who, when we're looking at doing the syndication, it's a syndication fund, yeah, Zasha?
Yeah, we use Mauricio Rawls group. You probably know their group,
Mhm.
Sasha, because that's who Brandon used, and I mean a lot of people use them. Like they're so busy now, they're super hard to refer people to them because they're just like, oh, yeah, we'll serve you, but we'll serve you in about 8 months. Like,
Right? The best ones are always taken, right?
they're always taken. Yeah,
Mhm.
crazy. But that's good though. That's good, and it's cool that you're partnering with people with more experience. I think that's huge. Like that's the key to success.
Definitely. And that's what I tell any kind of newbies and they want to partner with me. I'm just like, okay, you have to do your own due diligence. You have to bring, CMAs to me. You have to have done your background,
Yeah.
checks before you bring anything to me. You have to make it, I tell them for experienced investors, you kind of have to make it easier for them to decide, for them to really get back to you, right? If you're like, hey, I want to partner with you, you're like, okay, how, what? Like, if you got to figure out how you can partner with them, then probably won't happen.
Yeah. Have you done any subject twos yet?
No, only seller finance and novations, but just the mortgage payments didn't make sense, at least for Hawaii.
Yeah. So you did a seller finance, so they kept their mortgage in place?
No, seller finance is when it's a paid off property and then they become the bank. So then they hold the mortgage for you and then you make payments to them.
Gotcha. That's good stuff. I love it. Exciting for you.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, go keep eating your lunch. We won't bother you anymore. I know
I oftentimes forget the camera's on and I'm just like, Mom.
no. I'm the same. It's lunch hour here in the Northwest and breakfast for you guys. So it's like,
It's
yeah,
brunch. I'm about to break out my champagne pretty soon,
it's Friday.
mimosa. Right?
Asha, I was talking to Malanai and she was saying that you guys were good friends.
Yeah. How do you know? Is she? She's not in real estate, is she?
No, I danced hula with her for a
Oh
while.
yeah. She's getting married, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, next time I see Sasha, but I don't ever see you in person. I only see you in a little box.
I was just in Big Island yesterday because we started looking at lots out there for new
Oh,
builds.
nice.
I connected with Fuzzy a couple weeks ago. It was actually really crazy, not crazy, but he got an award from like a native. It seemed like they give mostly awards to Native Americans, but forget exactly what the organization was called, but he got like a $25 grant. Well, it didn't come with any strings attached. They just gave it to him because he was doing all the affordable housing
Wow,
projects
I
on the
heard
Big
you got
Island.
something.
Yeah. I told him document and share that because that's
I
freaking
know.
huge. So he was like, hey, I'm flying to Maui today because I got to pick up a check, but if you want to meet up for lunch. And so I got there and I was like, oh, it's like a legit thing. And then they awarded him. I was like, oh, am I supposed to be here? Like, I thought we were just meeting up for lunch, but he ended up getting an award and all this kind of stuff. It's really nice. And so we started looking at Big Island, probably going to do some projects out there, put out in some offers. Just the price point is a little bit more affordable. And there's still a lot of need out there. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's actually a really good, I was talking to Fuzzy too about the fact that parts of Volcano and parts of Puna you can actually do Airbnb legally. So that's perfect for investors because I mean, those go for like 350,000, which is crazy cheap. So Yeah. But
Yeah,
she's
I think we were looking at one with one of the guys that had like you could sleep like 20 something people in it.
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was in Paradise
Yeah.
Homes.
Yeah.
I
Fuzzy
think
does-
you just got to be aware of like the occupancy
Yeah.
rate out there is pretty low.
Yeah.
that's the thing. Is it's not like it's jamming like Oahu is or parts of Maui. When the volcano's erupting, you get the tourists going, so that's a good time.
We got Roderick. What's up, bro? What's up, Roderick? Happy little Friday.
Aloha! How's everybody?
How's the surf, bro?
Oh, I wish I could tell you. I just been working this whole time, but it's been
Oh.
really good lately.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that lifeguard won the Eddie.
Yeah, did great. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I think Tuesday, Wednesday next week. If anybody wants to come up, like head high and no winds, like green.
Anybody like surfing Roderick?
Let's go. I need an
Where
excuse to
do, where do I put my time off request?
You need one of the waterproof phone case. I get you one, don't worry.
Head high and no winds. That'll actually drown Corey. That's too tall.
Yeah, I cannot. Oh, you dirty guy, bro.
double overhead, Corey.
I get barrel easy, you know. That's the nah. Well, Roderick, how's the deal we closed on with you, the last one?
It's
to your
good.
house? Yeah.
Yeah, I've had
That was
to
a smoking one, man. We gotta let you do like a presentation or something one day on it.
Yeah, I would love to. I'm still shifting gears on it a little bit. I thought I could, maybe just lipstick and rouge it a little bit, but it turns out that the kitchen that was halfway built on the good side, unit A, like none of the contractors I could get to finish the cabinets. So the owner had built these brand new custom cabinets halfway.
Oh.
And everybody I talked to is like, bro, rip this out of here and call Golden Cabinets. I'm like, I talked to 10 different Finnish carpenters and they all told me like, hey, we can do it. It's going to be 12 grand.
Oh.
And I'm like, no. So I call Golden Cabinets, brand new countertop, 6 grand. I'm like, okay, I guess we're going brand new. Like, got to do the math.
Right. Love it.
You can use the customs as like a nice little furniture piece or something,
I did. I took a skill saw to the brand new granite countertop and I'm going to reuse part of it in one of the other bathrooms. But it's just hard. Like it just got installed. Brand new granite, brand new backsplash. And just like taking a sledgehammer to all that, it like breaks your heart a little bit. But what do you do,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta do what makes sense.
Just
right.
remind yourself you're saving $6,000. So
And $400 a day of interest or whatever the number is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
sometimes it's harder to salvage something. I definitely have learned that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Start all over.
Yep.
How's the yeah, I always forget the city in Florida you got that property, not Daytona, but close by. What is it?
Holly Hill.
Holly Hill. Yeah, how's that one going?
It's all right. Like Daytona Beach is known for being like just rough around the edges. They have like the biker week, and there's like topless girls everywhere. And it's like that's just like what they're known. You know what I mean?
I had no idea.
Yeah, and it's not in Daytona, but it's like right next to it. So it's kind of that, it attracts those crowds. But in their defense, they have Jeep week, truck week, bike week. I mean, every kind of week you can think of, so every month there's something new out there and it's drawing people from all over the world. Everybody knows Daytona Beach,
Yeah.
So it's cool. I definitely have no trouble renting the place. It's
Oh.
positive cash flow, maybe 1,500 a month.
Nice.
It's cool. It's like a single double. You know what I mean? It's cool. Cruising along.
Love it. Love it. Well, it's good to see you on, Roderick.
Yeah, thank you. I keep missing you guys. I always got contractors here, and I gotta help them. And, you know, but it's
Oh,
good.
yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Always love having you, bro. Well,
Thanks,
anybody got any leads, needs, good deeds for this week? And any well, actually, that decision was made. Yeah, Roger. I was gonna say any Finnish carpenters, but
Nope.
sounds like that. Yeah, we're
No
moving
need.
forward.
No needs.
Anybody got anything? All right.
There's a house down the street. There's two houses down the street, completely empty. I've reached out to both sellers. When they say they're not interested, like, do you just keep pestering them? Like, what do you guys do? I mean, the houses are falling apart, you know, like they're right down the road.
What are the sellers in town, or are they on the mainland?
One lives in Los Angeles and the other is in a trust. So there's like 15 family members that can't agree on anything. They're all here, I'm assuming.
Gotcha. And the one in LA, why does he say they want to keep it?
She said there's an issue with the title and she's trying to get it cleared up with the lawyer, but it's been like 2 years. Like, dude, you know, there's squatters in there and this and that. I'm just curious what other people do. Do you kind of lay back, or like, I feel like I'm pestering them and I don't want to bug them, but
That's actually the easy one. So the title one, I'd say go to whoever you use for title and go have them run a title report, figure out what the title issue is,
ooh,
and
okay.
then- and see if you could solve for it. Because if you could solve for it with the title company or with another source of some kind, then you could go back to the seller and say, hey, I think if I could solve your problem, would you give me an opportunity to make you an offer on this? And then they'll be like, well, solve my problem. Like, what do you mean? They'll be like, well, I've got an attorney. I'm like, what if I could solve your problem and you don't have to pay your attorney? Would you give me a chance to make you an offer on it? I mean, they'll say yes, right?
I like that.
They say, well, let me make you an offer subject to me solving that title problem. But you already know you're going to solve it because of the fact that you've already done the research, right? And so then you make them a strong offer and just see where it goes. And then if you can get it, the nice thing is that when you negotiate it, she knows that there's a title issue, so it'll be hard to sell. So pricing may be a little bit lower, but then once you get it in contract, then you just solve for it and then close. That's the easy one. The trust one's hard. 15 people, 20 people, like they'll never agree until Jesus comes.
And slowly that falls farther and farther in disrepair. You know, it's sad.
The one thing you could do for that one, if they're not on island, I mean, figure out if they're on island, but if they're not on island, take video and photos and send it to them, because then they may be like, holy crap, I didn't realize it was that bad. And, you know, then they may just be like, hey, so, you know, what are some options here? And you could say, I mean, you can just be a friend first, right? And go over and be like, hey, I'll send my crew down and I'm going to board it up for you. And try to see if I can help you out. And then, you know, just try to build a relationship. Obviously, don't get fancy boards, get reused stuff. Use the granite from your house and go put it up.
Yeah, there you go.
That's just some ideas.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Good idea. Thank you, Kiko.
Yeah. Anybody else got ideas for Roderick?
If you're gonna call anyone for the title issues, we just had Pam in here yesterday that spoke to our team about all of the different potential title issues that investors might face and how to manage their expectations regarding the timeline for resolving those types of issues. And she sounded like, you know, she had a handle on pretty much every kind of issue that you guys would encounter, such as probate or just, you know, ancestral land passed down, cloudy title because of this, there wasn't any documentation as the land got passed down, conveyances, stuff like that. So I would recommend giving her a call to help you with that.
I love Pam. She helped with this last deal, and she is top notch.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I got a good deed talking about your deal. Shucks. Aiden, are you on the phone?
I just finished.
Okay, never mind. That's okay, never mind. I wanted to tell the story because Roger closing that deal wasn't easy, right? Even at the signing table. Let me know if I understand, if I'm telling the story correctly, okay? So at the signing table, the seller, who's a friend, is it a friend, Roger, or a neighbor or something? Yeah. So you
He
kind of
worked
know
with
him.
14 years ago. We've known the guy forever, and he insisted on everybody being at the signing table at the same time.
Oh, he insisted. Oh, I thought you asked him to be there. No, he insisted to be at the signing
Yes.
table.
Oh, I would have done mobile, bro. That would have been
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, so did he know that that's not normal? Like usually you just sign on your own, the seller and the buyer.
He's very sad. He's not stupid, and I think he knew, but that's what he wanted. He wanted to make sure he knew what I was signing, and everybody was signing. There was no sneaky dealings.
Wow, yeah. So, anyways, but it was a good thing actually, right? Because at the table something came up, right? And then you guys were able to put them at ease. Like, no, we're not trying to screw you over here, dude. Like, you need this to happen, right? And we made it happen, but
Best.
yeah. But one thing was like Roderick and Aiden, you know, like together they massaged through this scenario, and I actually kind of learned a lot just from hearing what happened from Aiden. So, but and you guys really did take care of him, you know, and you went above and beyond, Roger. I think you had money in to him already, right? So that's a good deed, even though that maybe he might not have seen it. That he seems to be very suspicious kind of person, right? Like he's just cautious about, and like borderline, like doesn't trust easily. So
Anybody.
yeah. But it just shows, even down to the wire at the signing table, like the deal can blow up, the sellers could get, you know, spooked or like, and but you guys took care of that guy. So is he okay though? Like, or did he have like, is he battling some stuff? Okay.
I have no idea. There's a box full of mail here for him. If you guys see him, let him know. I don't know what to tell him. He's got a pocket full of money now. He can go on his way. Yes, I went way out of my way. I ran a power wire down the fence so he'd have electricity. I bought him a van. I got him like those containers from Costco to put all his crap in. Like, I'm like, dude, I will help you drive to the storage place. What do you need? You know?
Jesus, I didn't even know you did that either. Wow. Okay, I know you gave him money, but oh, well, yeah, Roger's such a great dude, you know, so we gotta shout that out, you know.
We posted all his crap on Craigslist. I was meeting sellers or buyers over here to buy all his stuff. Just trying to help him.
Yeah. You're selling it for him?
Yeah, dude, he didn't have internet. He had no electricity, nothing. You know, he's like hungry. I was bringing him food. Like, what do you do? You know,
dude, Roger, you're the man, bro. You're the man.
Good times.
Yeah, well, that's like truly like what we can do. You know, we can make an impact. So, a lot of us really do. So, yeah, thank you, Roger, for being an example for everybody. Anybody else got any leads, needs, good deeds? Otherwise, we can move forward. We can talk about anything. What's going on out there? I know some markets have been moving kind of quick. So Hawaii has been actually not too bad. It's picked back up a little bit. The rates have gone down a little. That's why too, right? But it seems like there's a lot more action now.
Which markets are moving quick?
Well, as you and I know, Vegas is moving pretty quick. I heard Tampa.
Moving just meaning like there's activity kind of a thing, but not like moving down, not moving down, just activity.
I don't think many markets are moving quick right now. I think most markets are down, right? The volume wise. But for Hawaii, we're slow too. The volume went down, but it feels like it's starting to pick back up. Like I just lost an offer on a property in Kailua and there was like 5 offers on it, but they underpriced, but still so it just shows that there's buyers there, there's still buyers. And this was for like a retail property. So kind of a good sign for Hawaii. I see Vegas there's some properties that I've been watching, they're starting to go into escrow. So, but I think in about a week, when is the next Fed announcement? I think that's
31st, I think next week.
next week, Monday.
Tuesday or something like that. Tuesday-ish. They meet again.
Got it.
I think it's gonna go up for this next one.
Well, it's probably gonna be 25 bips, they said. So that's what John Hornick said. And he's been spot on ever since the pandemic. Or ever since they started raising. So he said 50, 25, 25. The last one was 50, right? So he thinks, and it sounds like they're going to do 25.
Yeah. I agree. 25 or 50.
So an interesting thing is that what is unemployment at, right? What was the...
Anybody else got any insights on the market? Anything you're watching? Anything you're seeing? Stuff you're hearing?
So if Google is right, December 22nd was 3.5% unemployment rate. That's like not even halfway there. Are they saying that like when Powell first announced that like they're not going to stop raising rates until unemployment hits, what was it, 8%? And then inflation goes down to 2 or something? Did he say until it hits those numbers or until that number is within sight?
They're saying when it hits those numbers right now.
Dang, okay.
That's what they're saying now. And so far, the Federal Reserve is 100% unanimous on all their decisions. So there's no fighting happening on the inside on their position for what they want to do, their strategy.
Yeah.
We're in for a bit of a haul, that's for sure.
So I think certain markets for sure are going to be time for coming in, but the question is when, because like you can't get in too early. So
well, as they say, it's hard to time the market, so it's more just making a strategic decision based on analysis that no matter how low it goes, you're fine, whether it's a longer term hold or you're getting it so far below value. Like once you're at 65, 60, 50% of market value, then you're doing probably okay. Most markets aren't going to drop 50%.
I feel it's getting close because like you said, like you don't have to wait till the prices start to hit that number until you start making offers. Like you can make offers now at your number, so yeah, but even now there's still, like, I see it's hovering about, like, still need about 24% more in the median to go down. It's kind of crazy to think about, but that's how much appreciation inflation they got in Vegas in the housing market there. It was about 32% within less than a year. So
yeah.
But pretty soon, because 24%, that's still like some properties might come on market and like they're only 10% away. Not only, but 10% is a lot, but still. There's some properties out there. In fact, I was gonna go into a couple. Maybe I'll just run it past everybody in the room, if you guys don't mind. Can look at this. Try to share my screen. So this condo here, it's in the Turnberry Towers. I'm looking at this just because like I wanted a list to be pulled for me of all the properties, specifically condominiums that are listed for rent and for sale. Why? Right? Well, if it's rented if it's on market for rent and for sale, then you know that there's some sort of motivation there, right? It's like, I don't care, I'll rent it, I'll sell it, I need to do something with it. Like maybe I got to cover the mortgage, right? Or whatever it is, I got to cover the HOA fee. Like this is like, maybe even if they own it free and clear, right? There's still some sort of motivation to get this thing rented or sold. So I always think that that's a huge sign of someone that might entertain a subject to deal, or something with some kind of seller carryback. So sure enough, I inquired, and these guys are would entertain it. They've done price drops. We'll pull up PropStream too. You guys can help me look at this one. So I know that if I come in, I have too many tabs open. If we come in with like a bank statement loan from Chris, we're gonna have to put probably 20 to 25, probably about 20% down. Actually, yeah, we'll have to put 20% down. And then the interest rate might be around 7.5 or 7-ish. Bank statement loans are more expensive, but let's say 7.5% amortized over 30 years, right? So that comes out to be like roughly a $8,000 a month mortgage payment, not including HOA, and it might be like 7,000 to 8,000, not including HOA and interest and taxes and insurance. Okay, so let's just round up to 10,000 a month, right? I believe this property is listed for rent for right around, like right under $4,000 a month, I think. Might have been $3,500 to $4,000 a month. So that tells me already that if I bought this with a bank statement loan, I'd have to come in with 200 grand, over 200 grand. And then my monthlies will probably be roughly around 10 grand, right? So, but since they're on market for rent and for sale, perhaps we can get creative with this, right? So I talked to them about some sort of owner finance structure and they're interested. But I told them, in order for it to make sense to me, the most I can put up is 10% down and I'll pay them above what they're asking for rent. But maybe I know for me, I can pay up to 10 grand because I would have paid 10 grand anyways, right? So we may even offer up to 10,000 a month payment, but I want to ask for those payments to be allocated to the principal every month. So no interest on it. So give 10% down, we'll pay them 10,000 a month for 5 years. So it'll be a 5-year with a balloon in 5 years. So a balloon payment, the principal is due. So, and I might go for 7 years, 5 to 7 years to see if they're interested, because within 5 to 7 years and paying every month, we're paying down principal, we should have enough equity to be able to refinance fairly easily within 5 to 7 years if we had to. Right. So, well, within 5 to 7 years, we will have to refinance or sell because there's a balloon payment coming up with the seller, right? So that's what we're kind of looking at in the Vegas market, as well as coming in to buy turnkey. You know, this one will be turnkey. I was looking for something just for like our company to have like a little place to, you know, if we're traveling back and forth, people can stay. We don't have to keep booking hotel rooms, you know. So but the only way that makes sense is if I come in with a little bit down, and the monthly payments either are covered, or that the monthly payments make sense in a way that we're basically paying ourselves, right? If we're paying 10,000 a month, but it's all being allocated to pay down the debt, you know, the entire principal amount, then that's a huge benefit for us, because it's kind of like having our own bank. You know, we're just using it as a bank, paying ourselves and building equity that way. But anyways, there's a few other properties that I was looking at, like Kiko. I don't know if you seen some of these, but we should probably look through some of these. My question is, does anybody know, and maybe Deidre, you can help me with this answer, Vegas, like, can anybody give more insight on the regulation and the laws around short-term vacation rentals in certain neighborhoods? I know you have to be licensed, but are they still giving out licenses in certain areas? Or who else is in Vegas? I think just Diedrich. Oh, Jake, you got.
Sorry, I'm still driving right now, but yeah, it's pretty hard to get licenses for short-term rental. So that's why, like, my guys, a lot of people I talk to out here, when they consider Airbnb or stuff like that, they're pivoting more towards the midterm route. Or other ways that they can stretch it. But I'm gonna be at the office right now. Gio could for sure explain that more.
Okay, yeah, cool. Right on. But anyways, yeah, so oh, I see her. Take over the current mortgage subject to. Oh yeah, shoot, I was gonna open up PropStream to pull up that property, but I didn't want people kind of just waiting on me, but I can pull it up. I don't know if this one even had a mortgage, I forget.
Also, if you got to make sure the mortgage is a P&I mortgage and not a interest only mortgage, because if not, you're not able to build too much equity.
Yeah, you won't pay down the debt, right?
On those mortgages, if there's an existing mortgage, in your guys' experience, do you work with the current bank just to make sure it's okay to have the seller basically have another party involved, or you kind of keep that separate because there may be a due on sale, quote unquote, clause?
Yeah, we keep it separate. No, even their insurance, they need to keep it in place anywhere between 6 months to a year. We still pay for it, but we just don't want to trigger any alarm, you know. So for easy understanding, it's somehow with the title company, they do like a quick claim deed without affecting, like they leave the mortgage in place. And it's Pam is like really good at explaining it, because I tried explaining it to other title officers here, and they're like, no, we can't. No, how? But yeah, anyway, they have too many questions. So anyway, quit claim deed and leave the mortgage in place.
Yeah, no, that's the part where I have a hard time with, because if they do a quit claim deed, then basically the bank would say, well, the person I loaned to no longer owns it on the deed, so therefore the loan should be paid in full.
Yeah, so there's a way that the title companies do it where it doesn't trigger anything on the lender side.
Huh, interesting.
It's crazy how they get to do that. And I forget how they do that, but yeah.
You should get Pam to explain it.
Yeah. And she's so knowledgeable, but I've tried asking her to explain it to like an agent over here. Either one, you know, she doesn't want to sell her secrets because she could potentially lose business, which I don't care, and good for her. Or two, it's just way too complicated to explain it because when she texted me a response, she's like, it's really hard to explain, but tell her, I forget what her answer was, tell her this, that, she should understand. So I just repeated that to the Maui agent. It's just so powerful to offer that option, honestly. Yeah, it's just really powerful. But then within 6 to 12 months, the buyer transfers the insurance to their name, property insurance, and then within 12 months, we write a letter to the credit bureaus saying that that seller with that mortgage is no longer responsible for the balance of that mortgage. So that helps with their DTI. And we just show proof that we've been making those mortgage payments. So that's for the sellers who may need to buy a home later, that will come off their DTI.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. Keiko, you're frozen if you're still there. Oh,
I think we lost him. Oh,
mhm.
there he is. There he is. So I'll share my screen again. So here's the details on the property.
I'm gonna run calculations on this side.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Do you have the mortgage amount maybe or balance?
So it said cash, but they did take a loan out, it looks like. A construction loan in 2007. Wow, see guys, oh, this is crazy. Look at this. They bought it at the peak of the market in the before the last Great Recession. They bought this property for 1.115 in 2007. Look how much it went down. I don't know if these are family members. I don't think so. It says arm's length resale. So they took a huge hit. And look how long it took to get back to,
back to them.
Huh?
And then in 2021, buyer's name is back to that 2007 buyer's name.
Well, this looks like it was a quick claim deed. So
Oh, duh.
this might have been. Yeah, that is. I don't know what happened here, but there's no way they sold in 2022 for 435. They just did a quick claim deed, I'm sure. Maybe there was maybe this was an inherited property. So unless you guys see something I'm missing, but
Well, it's interesting because at 1.1 million, the buyer was Gupta Vindo. And then on the quick claim, the buyer is the same
It's
person.
back to them.
So they quick claimed it to themselves for 435. So they may have, that might have been a tax move. Wait, hold
Yeah.
on. So yeah, Sahota bought it and then it got quick claim, but Sahota, yeah, this is an inside family job. It's weird.
yeah, okay, never mind then. But they bought it in 2007 for 1.115, right? And we all know what happened after that. It all came crumbling down. So, and now here we are, 2023. What is that? That's 16 years later, and we're roughly around the same level they bought it for, which is insane. So it just shows like sometimes, like if you don't understand market cycles, you could buy wrong and the property may never recover, or it may take a decade if you buy really wrong, right? Like that's a big lesson. They had this thing since 2007 and they're selling it. Oh, what was the price? What are they asking? $1,095,000. So right around, it's less than what they bought it for 16 years ago. Yikes. So we talk about being too early sometimes, right? Like we're definitely not, I don't feel we're definitely that early, like, because like they bought right at the top, probably 2007.
Oh,
Ouch.
for sure they did, because it was 2008 to 12 where everything came crashing. So 07, they had no clue.
Yeah. Yep. Most people didn't have a clue. They weren't paying attention. And like I think most of us who haven't been educated in market cycles and how markets behave, and that like when everybody's winning and like high-fiving, like that's actually a concern. It's like, is this sustainable? And I think the average person is like, I need to buy real estate. Everybody's buying real estate. And they buy it because without any knowledge, right? And they buy the top, and then everything comes crumbling down. And then that asset did not recover. It did not recover. Because if I was even thinking, if we're gonna make an offer, it's not gonna be at $1,095,000. It's gonna be at $1 million with terms. So these guys are already took a haircut for 16 years. They probably, unless they were living in it, it looks like they were living in it, but we gotta buy right. That's for sure. We gotta understand market cycles, we gotta understand markets, because otherwise things can happen, crazy.
Yeah, that's interesting. Tay, the financing with the seller mortgage in place, that's super interesting. That's all the Pace Morby stuff, right?
Yeah.
See,
That's up to
I have all his stuff. I just need to listen to it more carefully.
Mm, it's kind of, honestly, all his free content. First, it takes 10 hours. Second, he has the squirrel brain, so he goes on tangents. But yeah, it's being done everywhere, but every state has different laws. And the good thing is, like with his community, we have access to the title companies in all of these states. Like we have access to someone who's done it. And there's always a loophole. Like Diedrich was saying, yeah, Gren and Bargain. I've never heard of that before, but I hear a lot of land contracts, especially on wraps, where there's no deed transfer, but there's like two loans on the same property, and it's just a land contract. It's insane how he just keeps finding loopholes where in every state there's a loophole to make that happen. Yeah, that's that. Seller finance is way simpler, obviously, but once we get into subject to the hybrid, the wraps, you have to know like a title company that's willing to do the loopholes that to go through, like you got to teach them.
Yeah, that's the complicated part.
Well, I will happily get you the contacts if you tell me what state. And they kind of walk you through everything. I even have contacts for transaction coordinators specifically for creative deals. They're super affordable. Like it's like a one-time fee. They draft all the paperwork. Some of them even have all the title company officers' contacts to make it happen. So yeah, for real.
That's awesome. Just for fun, I think I want to learn. So I think, can you tee up Houston, Texas?
Yep, Houston, Texas. Yep, I'll get that going.
Yeah, if I find something good, I'll let you know. We can do something all together.
Yep.
But there's a lot of deals coming out of Texas right now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thanks, Tay.
Yeah.
And I mean, we did pay the subscription for Pace Morby. I just got to go through the whole thing. I had Tomas went through it all, and yeah,
well,
all
these contacts are like, they're sort of like within the subject, the sub-2 mentorship, but they do business, like they created a whole business around, creative financing, transaction coordination. Like, I mean, it's getting bigger and bigger. So they help everyone, not just the students. So
awesome.
I know that they want us to give out their contacts so they have more business.
I love it. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to start learning some more there, because I think that's going to be a pretty interesting opportunity.
Yeah, and it's actually they're cranking, like just within that community right now, they're cranking all these creative deals.
Yeah.
because people are just completely over leveraged.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just distressed and tired. Those
Yeah.
are the situation.
Or they
Mhm.
have to sell, but the market's just too slow, so they can't sell, right? So then they'll take owner finance, whatever. They just need to get it off the plate. So much motivation out there now.
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of so the people who understand wraps really well, if their flips are not selling, they're selling them on wraps and off market. You know, a
Smart.
lot of, and like it's so good because you get a fat down payment usually. And two, you deal with nothing because it's like that person buying is like a homeowner, so they take care of everything. Like you just make money and hopefully it covers that initial loan that you have in place. Yeah, I'm seeing that a lot.
Yeah. So long as that initial loan is not a bridge loan, right? That has a 5-month window left on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I think that is a good strategy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I like it. Like it. We should
As
do
an investor in these times, like you got to pay attention to the debt too, right? Like, because that's an advantage. If somebody's 10 years in on their 30-year amortized loan and it's a low rate, like that's a great, mortgage to take over if you
Oh,
can.
yeah, and that's why like everybody's doing that. So they're doing what I was saying, they're doing either just straight up subject to for like a 3% loan, or even 4%, still good right now, or they're doing these hybrids like, hey, I can give you 500, but leave that mortgage in place and then the rest I'll make payments monthly. And a lot of people are going for it. I was gonna say the one of the like cool tricks that Pace is doing on seller finance offers, a lot of sellers want, a percentage, like, no, I need to make something like, 3%, 8%, like I've gotten that before. And his response to that is like, I get it that you want to make money off of the sale, but what if I just offer you way more? Let's say over the 5 years, I'm about to pay you 100 grand of interest, like if you want that 5% interest over 5 years, that's 100 grand. Why don't I just make you an offer 100 grand over right now? And we do principal only because it is in your best interest, seller, that I pay down that loan as fast as possible to bring that balance down so that I can refinance, so that I'm not over leveraged, and then you're stuck with me for more than 5 years. So that's like some of how he like puts it into perspective. But then again, it's got to make sure whenever your balloon is, it still makes sense. You can refinance whatever, but so that's how he's able to offer way more, because he understands also like in our contracts on seller finance, or even subject to, we literally put in there that if at the time of balloon, the property is not, the loan is not 80% of the property's worth, we're keeping that loan in place. You're not getting your balloon. And all of that is explained, right, to the seller, but in a way where it is, again, in your best interest. Like, what is your choice? Lose money today or just make money over time with me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, and then wait, sorry, off subject before I forget. And I think Aiden knows, I don't know if he shared it, but spoke to my, Civic guy, and Civic is putting a halt on acquisitions, like on applications, and obviously they can't refuse applications. So they're raising their rates across the board by 3 points.
No, Civic's done. Like they fired the CEO and all the executives. They're owned by a large bank. So,
Yes.
and I actually still am super surprised, and I don't know what to make of it, because it's actually not, I don't think it's good for our industry. They were doing over $300 million or loan origination a month. That's over 3 billion in a year. So when a player like that goes away, it's big disruption. So I don't, I mean, they haven't made an official announcement, but I'm pretty sure like Civic's done. Like they're just gonna become a bank. And in fact, we knew Kendra, who is one of their higher ups, and they were paying her like $1 million a year salary. And she was making good money. She loved it there. And then all of a sudden she started her own gig. So we have to ask her, because she was never gonna leave. Ask her what happened. She said, nah, those guys they're turning into a bank. Like they're not gonna be doing loans soon. And this was a year ago. So she was right. Yeah. I think
So
they're not.
are there, am I in any situation, like, should I look to
You should be
refinance
okay.
them out? I have a lot of loans with them, like some are 5-arm and a couple bridge loans. Like, am I in any weird space where I should like start refinancing the properties I'm gonna hold, or are they gonna sell off the notes?
They probably did already, or they securitized possibly. If they're holding on I don't know anybody who holds 30 years on the books. Like most people don't, not even banks. They sell it to Fannie Mae, so
Yeah.
like most people don't hold their loans. So you should be okay because the servicer should still be intact and stuff. Like you should
Okay.
still be able to get payoffs and all that. It is still something to think about though, and maybe you should be asking those questions to your guy. Like, hey man, like do I need to start refinancing out, or you might want to ask those questions. Because I don't know how they're
Okay.
structured. If they're handling the servicing themselves, then yeah, maybe.
No. No,
okay.
it's face servicing.
Okay, fair, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a good point. Actually, I was gonna bring that up, totally forgot. But that's big news because Civic's one of the biggest companies in our space. But like when you look back, like Civic they were so aggressive with their rates. Even like DSCR, they were doing like no appraisals and all that. So I have a feeling that their book
Appraisal for me.
yeah,
I
I have a feeling their books did not look good, and that's why it's hard as the borrower. It's easy to be like, oh shoot, yeah, like these guys do no appraisals, let's go with them, but if you want long term, like you want your lender to be safe too, like we don't want to charge too much points or too much interest because that hurts you guys. And then if you guys, if a borrower gets squeezed, because the rates are so high and the fees are so high, and then they can't perform, they lose money, then they're not going to go buy another one, like and it goes both ways though for the lender too, because if the lenders are all the guys who are super aggressive, they're having a hard time. Patch of Land is no longer either. Patch of Land is no longer in business, and Patch of Land was one of the bigger companies before. Pierce Street as well. Pierce Street, I don't know if they're still there. I think they're still in business, but man, their booth looked pretty sad at the last conference. Like they look defeated. So, but like that's every company out there right now. It's the volume's gone down, so we have to get creative with our deals. So like sub 2, owner financing, all that. And then looking at strategies to find where would these like people in distress be, like, like how do we get it like in front of them?
Right.
So-
Where's that thing, like which list has the motivation that will make them sell on terms?
Yeah. If you
One of
start thinking about the
easiest one is
filters,
the upside down people, honestly.
yep.
I
So-
have like right now, here in Hawaii, here on Maui, this guy, not even subject to is gonna help him. He can't sell it on the market for what he even paid for. Even on a sub 2, because rent doesn't cover the mortgage plus HOA. It's insane. So like, I don't know, he might have to like pay to sell. He's gonna lose money to sell, but he has no choice. He's got to move. His company moved him here, and now they're just moving him back because I don't know, things are happening. So no choice for that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well,
Awesome.
thanks
Hey,
everybody for
it's
hanging
like-
out.
We need to do a whole thing on just the seller stuff. It gets more and more complicated these days, so it's kind of interesting. Tay, would you be open to do that? Like do a little bit of Just kind of be ready for like next week or something like that? Next couple weeks?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so not the best at it. I understand a lot of the surface stuff. But yeah, the nitty-gritty transactional stuff, I'm not very, very knowledgeable, but I can share whatever I know and I've learned. I've only done one seller finance acquisition, so yeah.
Yeah.
Of
I
course.
think we can all learn together. That's kind of the fun part about what we do here. But at the same time, the person who kind of has the most knowledge kind of helps get the ball going down the field. And the rest of us just kind of help grab and move.
Yeah.
Like multifamilies, I'm not by far the expert. I'm not Grant Cardone, but I got enough information that I'm like, hey, I can give you what I know. And then if you guys learn something, then we add to it and then we do something crazy, right? So yeah, I really want to do a seller finance. The hard part about the wrap, because that's basically what it is a wrap. You know, you're basically wrapping another mortgage around the existing mortgage, right?
So, okay, so not really. So if there's a mortgage in place and you want to take that over, that is subject to.
Yeah.
If there's no mortgage in place, that's seller finance.
Correct. But if there's a mortgage in place at say $1 million, but they want 2 million, then basically you're wrapping around theirs.
That's a hybrid. Yeah. So they call that a hybrid. That's just the words that we learn. They call that a hybrid, and it's essentially a subject to plus monthly payments to the seller.
Yeah.
For however long, for whatever amount. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So what you call a hybrid is what traditionally is called a wrap, because you're wrapping a second mortgage around the first mortgage, and then you're making payments to the seller. And the seller, seller keeps the mortgage, seller pays his original mortgage, and then the new buyer comes in with a bigger mortgage around the other one. And so that's where.
Okay, so again, I'm just saying what the mentorship teaches. The wrap is what PACE calls wrap, and I think other people call that as well, is way different. So I mean, it's essentially the same thing where you've got when you
we can pick up next week. It's all right. I'm putting you on the spot, and I'm piecing together what little bit I know from different things I've done. So I'm just like, I think it's a wrap, but it could be totally every generation kind of has its own new thing, and every coach has their own little branding, right? So you're like, maybe that's what it is, but that's awesome. Right on, everybody. I actually have to jump off here, but this was super fantastic. Deidre dropped a Vegas person for title on creative finance, which is cool. Thanks for that. And
thank you, Deidre. Thank you, guys.
Best.
Real quick, next week, Friday, we're going to be in
Tampa.
Tampa.
Does anybody invest out there? No one, yeah.
So do we want to try to make this happen?
What?
Next Friday.
Oh, that's right.
Because we're all gonna be together.
we're all gonna be on a plane, I think, on Friday, right?
Yeah, or at an airport.
No,
Yeah.
Friday will be.
We'll be landing.
Yeah.
We'll be landing, but
That's
we might be
6 o'clock.
setting up for the event.
Shoot, yeah. Okay, stay tuned. We might have to push this next week, but we'll make an announcement.
Sorry, guys. I just want to
Thank you, Leila.
let everybody know.
All right, guys, have a good weekend. Happy Aloha Friday, and we'll see you guys next week.
Corey, can I ask one question?
Yeah.
So Brandon Turner just set up a new mastermind thing.
Mm-hmm.
It got me thinking about you guys and this call. What are you guys doing for mastermind groups, accountability, all that kind of stuff? And do you want to maybe try to put something together here in this network? I mean, you guys are the people that I kind of hang around more than those guys, but are any of you guys
That's so-
joining his new group or?
That's
Just
so
throw it
funny
out.
that you mentioned that, because I was just right before we let everybody in this room, I was just asking Corey and Kekoa if we wanted to maybe shake things up a bit with coffee talk. Just because I mean it's been almost for 3 years, I feel like. of the same format. So yeah,
What
let's
format?
what format, right? Yes, let's do something different.
Ooh, quarterly mastermind. That's a good idea.
Something.
We should, yeah, we gotta do something.
Yeah, we gotta do something because I'm sure like everyone likes a little spice every once in a while, you know, we got the same stuff going on every
Together.
week.
Outside of
Um,
everyone's offices and houses. Like, yeah, let's keep that conversation going.
Yeah, let's talk about
Dude.
that. Roderick, maybe you can stop by sometime.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. I know my wife does Accountability Works. She's done it for years with her girlfriends from college. And I think that's kind of what Brandon Turner's kind of setting up is like, it's like a mastermind group, but it's got that accountability portion of it where you like kind of, you know, you set yourself some homework and it's
Mhm.
powerful. You come together the next week and it's like, hey, did you do what you said you were going to do? And it kind of ends there, but you know, if you did your crap or not, you know, it's like, it's good. It's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. No, I love it. Yeah. That's a great idea. That is a great idea.
Anyway,
Yeah, if
I'm
anybody other
open.
if anyone ever has any suggestions for this call, please feel free to
Yeah.
share. We're open ears.
Right on, guys. Well, we'll see
Cool.
you guys next week. Thanks, Roderick. See you, Ben.
Bye, you guys.
Hey.